Hello everybody, welcome back to Clear Surf Financial Education. Carl Keister here. So today I wanted to touch a little bit on my video from last Tuesday. I'll leave links to it. It was called Gamestop Squeeze. Quite a few of you looked at it that follow me, and if you got in on that squeeze, you made a lot of money, and I'll go into all the details now why it worked and where I think it could go from here. So you're seeing this on almost every major channel now is talking about this. It's one of the greatest squeezes of all time. So first of all, if you want to understand what's going on here, when a company shorts a stock, GameStop was 140% of its shares outstanding were short, meaning more shares even existed were short. So what you do when you're shorting stock is, let's say this stock is at 10 bucks a share. You think it's going to go lower, so you short it. You buy an option usually with the right to sell that stock to 10 bucks, and you hope to buy it back at 5 bucks or 3 or 2, whatever the case may be, and you get the profit from selling it short. So with this stock being so short, on Reddit, the Wallstreetbets, it's a forum, and there was 1.9 million people a week ago when I talked about this. Now I looked this morning, it's up to 2.1. So another 200,000 people have heard about this and gone in there and they're looking for information and where they can squeeze somebody else. The reason why this squeeze worked is very simple. There was more shares outstanding than available. So as these Reddit Wallstreetbets people were buying a stock from $2 6 months ago up to like $6 maybe, I think at the start of the year, as they kept buying it, the people that were short the stock, you have to go out and buy it at the current price to take your risk off the table. So they're going out there and every day it was going up, up, and up. So the last 4 months, they've been squeezing these people higher. And it finally came to a head. Well, maybe not quite came to a head, but it came to a huge head yesterday. And what I mean by that is the stock opened up, I think Friday, it moved from 40 bucks to 65 is where it closed. And then Monday it popped on the open and went right to 100 from 65. And then throughout the morning there, it squeezed it all the way up to $159 a share. And so those people that kept trying to buy it back and just crushing, I mean, I read somewhere that cost these shorts billions of dollars, these hedge funds that were short the stock, and that's predominantly what it would be. But it could also be other people too that had to go out and buy it back at a lot. But the chatter and the comments on the Wallstreetbets, they loved it. They looked at themselves like Robin Hood. They looked at themselves like, oh, we're taking money from these billionaires and we're making a profit on it. There was one person on there I read it, that he claims, it was on the chat, he claims, he showed a snapshot of his account where he invested $54,000 in GameStop. It must have been months ago. And he's ridden it up until yesterday when it popped. It went from $54,000 to $11 million. That's how dramatic this was. When you go from a stock that goes from $2 a share in a matter of months and it gets squeezed up to $159, it's something that I've seen squeezes before, but nothing like this. This was absolutely insane. I saw it, and I'll honestly say I did not put any money into it because I just didn't know where this thing was going to pop and come back, and it did yesterday. After hitting 159, I think it finished the day at 80. So I saw a bunch of people in there that were foolish enough to chase that thing or buying on the way up. That some people were honest enough to post that they bought it in the 150s, and it closed the day at 80. So very, very dangerous game to play when you're shorting a stock like this. If you bought it months ago and you're in the process and you were smart enough to get out sometime last week, or no one can time the market perfectly, but when you see something go from 40 bucks in a matter of 2 days on Friday and Monday, 40 bucks to 150, you better be thinking about taking money off the table. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you and let you know. Look at that. You can look at the history. I talked about this last Tuesday, and I'll try to do some more of this. I'll try to find some more stocks that might be moving like this. If you're interested in that and you have a small account and you want to play with money that you can afford to lose, because this is a game where people are squeezing, you can afford to lose it. Right now, they're pushing Best Buy, and AMC was on the verge of bankruptcy, but they did a deal and got another $900 million injection of money. So AMC movie theaters looks like it's going to avoid bankruptcy. That was a stock that's at $2. They've been chatting about that on there. They pushed it up to $4.50 as of yesterday. I saw today it went to $5. Now the difference is the short interest in AMC is not near as big as it was. GameStop was 140%. Short interest in AMC is not near as aggressive. But what I will say is you need to be careful. I'm going to see if I can pull it up now while I'm talking about it. So GameStop, let me just take a look. Short interest, I'm sorry, AMC. Getting too many in my head. AMC short interest 53%. So that is scary. That does mean a lot of people, if they start pushing this AMC up, it's a $4.78 stock, they can get some momentum and force people to cover. But I think after what happened yesterday, anybody with short AMC and some of these other stocks that are being mentioned on Reddit, Wallstreetbets, probably took it off yesterday. I saw hundreds of millions of shares traded hands yesterday. And my guess is, unless you're absolutely insane and you were short the stock, you probably got out of those positions. Right now, today, it's 155 million shares of traded hands. So that's pretty crazy. I'm going to go to another area to see what's going on. So AMC, 155. The only one that's trading high right now is Nokia. More chatter on Nokia right now. Another thing, it's a $4.75 stock. So they do like these very inexpensive stocks because they know that the average person sitting there watching this channel is not a millionaire. They've got maybe money from the stimulus check, or maybe money from unemployment, or a small account that they have accumulated, and that's why they're really hitting on these and looking at these really inexpensive stocks, which they know people can buy the shares. And then the important thing is too is they even mention to people, especially on GameStop, is to call your broker and tell them you do not want your shares borrowed. That was also pushing the squeeze up higher, because if you call your broker and say, I don't want my shares that I own of GameStop, I don't want those shares lent out to someone who can work against me. So they were having people actually say, call your broker and make sure they don't allow your shares to be borrowed. And that's how that just unbelievable squeeze happened. So again, they're talking about BlackBerry, AMC, Nokia, Pentair is another one they were pushing. That stock went from 26 to 32 last Friday. So anyway, just check it out. Go to Reddit, Wallstreetbets, and you'll see this chatter. And I will just FYI before you go there, it is not a PC forum. I mean, people out there, I'm looking at some of the comments people are making, and it's just kind of surprising, but it's an open forum. People are swearing and they're just saying things that I haven't heard since junior high, but 2 million people got behind a stock and they pushed it really hard, and so that could happen again. So anyway, just be careful, but just something to keep an eye on. It's something that if you have some money you want to play with. I mean, like I said, Friday could have bought GameStop for $36, $40 a share, trading that range, and Tuesday was at $159 because of the short interest. Now, what's not being pushed really hard right now, but I wouldn't be surprised, is space. Richard Branson, his stock, well, there you go. As I speak and I pull it up, his stock was one of the most second heavily shorted stocks, and that was at 60% on Friday. Guess what? It's up $6.50 to up 18% today. So just today alone, the stock went from, let's see, 34, 35 up to 42. So that was another stock that was heavily shorted, and now it's on the move. So I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't check today on space, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's chatter in there, because this thing is moving again. So again, we're living this time where everyone has access. You can go on Robinhood. People can open up a partial share. You can buy partial shares on there, and people are trading options, because literally if you open up, I have a TD Ameritrade account, and if you open up an account, you can buy options, which buys you the right. One option contract is the right to buy 100 shares. So looking at these things, you can do this for a couple $100. I mean, I'm just gonna look right now. If I were to go in there and say, let me look at the space ticker, and you're looking at delete that. So the stock is at 42. So a call option right now it's close to $3, $2.81. So basically what cost you almost $281 to take a shot that the stock's gonna go up, or you could go the other way and say, wow, it's up $6 today. And I already see the short interest was at 60% on Friday, I think I looked. Today it's at 31. So half the shorts have already covered, so it could go higher, but eventually this thing probably too will do the same thing GameStop did. Once they push it high enough and enough of the shorts have covered, look for this thing to roll right back over, because they haven't even started making money yet. SpaceX is gonna be, they're sending very wealthy people, I think it's $250,000 a ticket. Eventually their plan is to send people into space. So $250,000 a ticket to get on board, but they don't have any revenue coming in. So this is another one that was heavily shorted, and they were speculating that it could go lower because it was a $10 stock. They went to 30 over the last couple of months and then went back down, rallied back up again. So here we are once again. So my advice to you, you can watch Space. It's Virgin Galactic Holdings is the name, but the ticker symbol is SPCE. That's what I'm going to have my eye on just for interest, because this thing, now that I see it, it's moving. And then just take a look. Let me see what they're doing here volume-wise. I think I have Space on this other one here. Wow, maybe I don't. So let me put this on here, SPCE. And where the heck is the symbol? I should be able to find it easy enough. 23 million shares. So Space, ticker symbol up $6.61, 23 million shares of traded hands. So again, be careful. I'm just bringing these things to you because I want you to learn, and maybe you want to do this. TD Ameritrade has what they call a paper account, which means it's not real money. So if you haven't done this before, you're not familiar with shorting stocks or buying calls or options, they have a ton of tutorials on TD Ameritrade. Get into tutorials and practice on the paper money application. When you log in, it's either live trading or paper money. Click on just click on the paper money trade side, and that'll probably save you a lot of headaches in case you get some of these things wrong, because they're moving crazy right now. But anyway, just want to bring that to you. And then also I want to mention too, the Fed's meeting today. So the Fed, hopefully they're going to say, eventually they're going to say they're going to stop buying so much money. Right now the Fed is buying money, buying bonds every single month. If they stop buying bonds, or mention they're going to stop buying bonds, that could be the tip that rolls this market over. Right now everything's going higher. But when you see SPACs, I mentioned a video, I'll leave the links to my video on Thursday. I did a video on SPACs. That is basically hedge funds and big money managers are raising money, don't even know what they're going to buy yet. They raise money, they go public, and then they do a merger. They buy something. I've seen a couple this week that popped. There was a lock company that popped and went from 10 to 30. So please watch the video on SPACs. You'll learn something there. So go back to last Tuesday and last Thursday videos on Gamestop squeeze and SPACs, and then open up an account and use the paper trading just to kind of practice a little bit to see if this is something you might be interested in doing. Okay? Talk to you on Thursday. Take care.